Today we are going to discuss sixth chapter from computational physics, namely arrays. So in C we have seen that a ordinary variable can store only a single value, but array is something which will store a large number of values. So the definition of an array is it is a collection or group of similar data items that share a common name. So all these data items will be similar in a type and they will have a common name. This common name is called as array name, and individual data items are called as elements of an array or array elements. Then each array element is referred by specifying array name followed by one or more subscripts which are enclosed in a square bracket. In C, subscript starts from 0 rather than 1. So while counting we start from 1 generally, but while counting subscripts in C, we count the subscripts from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. If we take an example of array such as X is an n element array, X, n. So X is n element array, then its elements will be referred by X0, X1, X2, X2, X3 and so on, and the last element will be Xn minus 1. So in n element array X, X0 refers to first element of an array X, X1 refers to second element of an array X, X2 refers to third element of an array X, X4 refers to fifth element of an array X, and Xn minus 1 refers to nth element of an array X. So this is how the elements of an array they are referred. The number of subscripts that are enclosed in a square bracket, they determine dimensionality of an array. If there is only one subscript, means only one square bracket after the name of an array, it is one dimensional array. One dimensional array is also called as single subscripted array or linear array. The example is vector or a list. Similarly, two subscripts, an array having two subscripts or two square bracket is a two-dimensional array. The example is matrix having rows and columns. Similarly, triple subscripted variable is called as three-dimensional array, which will have three square brackets, and the example is a crystal structure in a solid state, which will have rows, columns as well as levels. Now we'll go to how to define an array. So our first article is defining an array. Like ordinary variables, just like before using the ordinary variables we declare them, in the same manner the arrays are declared before they are used. And the form of how one-dimensional array is declared is as follows. Just like ordinary variable, it has a storage class, followed by data type, and then name of an array name, then in square bracket expression. This is how one-dimensional array is declared. Why one-dimensional? Because array name is followed by only a single square bracket where a expression is there which results in a positive value. Storage class refers to storage class of elements of an array. Data type refers to data type of elements of an array name, and is followed by a positive valued expression. This is how one-dimensional arrays are declared. Then writing storage class is optional, like automatic and external. From the location itself, you can understand that whether the storage class of a particular array is either automatic or external, which will be identified from its location of declaration. Typical array definitions are as follows. Here are some examples, like I am writing integer x10. This is one dimensional array declaration. Meaning of this is x is 10 element of an array. X is 10 element integer array. 10 are the number of elements, which is size of this particular array, and all the array elements of this particular array x have a data type integer. X is 10 element integer array. Then the next example is character text 80. Meaning of this declaration is text is 80 element character array. Text is name of an array. There are 80 elements which are of the type character. So text is 80 element character array. Then third example is where I am writing its storage class specifically because it is static. Static character message, and is followed by size of an array or a single square bracket having value 25. So meaning of this is message is the name of an array having 25 elements whose data type is character and whose storage class is static. So message is 25 element static character array. This is the meaning of this declaration. All these are one dimensional arrays because the array name is followed by single square bracket or single subscript. Here is another example. Static, writing static is mandatory, it's not optional. It is optional only for automatic and external storage class. Static float n12. Meaning of this declaration is n is 12 element static floating point array. N is name of an array, 12 elements are there whose data type is float and whose storage class is static. This is how these declarations are. Many times size of an array is declared in terms of symbolic constant. So you can use symbolic constant to represent the size of an array, and because of symbolic constant all the references you can alter just by replacing the value of symbolic constant, and everywhere the references will get altered by changing the size of an array. Here is an example of how we can specify size of an array in terms of symbolic constant. The example is hash include stdio.h, hash include stdio.h, then hash define size. Size is name of the symbolic constant and value assigned to size is 80. Then main, and then character letter, and in square bracket size. Instead of explicitly specifying size of an array, I am using symbolic constant size here, and few C statements will be there. Okay, so this is how. So by changing this particular value here, all the references to the array name later will get altered by changing the size of an array whose size is specified by symbolic constant size. Then just like we initialize ordinary ordinary variable, the array can be initialized. Arrays can be initialized in the declaration itself. Just like in ordinary variable declaration, we write integer I and we assign a single value, say 5 to it. On the same line, you can assign all similar data items to the size of an to a particular array. So array initialization is of this type. Elements of an array, be it external, static or automatic, can be assigned initial values if desired. The initial values must appear in the order in which they will be assigned to individual array elements enclosed in braces and separated by commas. The general form is storage class of elements of an array, then data type, then array name, then positive valued expression, and this is equal to the initializing elements are written in a braces. They are written in order in which they will get assigned to the various values of an array. So here are the values like value 1, value 2, value 3 and so on up to value n. Okay, value 1, value 2, value n. These are individual array elements which will be assigned to the array elements. Let us take an example like integer digits. 10 elements are there and I am initializing these elements by values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Brace complete and then semicolon. This is declaration plus initialization of one-dimensional array. And how the assignment will take place? The first element of an array, digits, will be referred by digit 0 because subscript starts from 0. The first element is 1. Similarly, digits 2. Digits 1 will be second element of an array whose value is 2 and so on. Similarly, 10th element of an array digits will be referred by digits 9 and will have value 10. So this is how the initial assignment will take place. First element of an array digit, second element of an array digits, 10th element of an array digits, which is referred by digits 9. The another example of array initialization is this: static float x6, and then these floating point values such as 0, 0.25, minus 3.2, 4.2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more value, say 0.62. So this is how the values are assigned. How the assignment will take place? x0 will contain, or the first element of an array x will have value 0, 0.0. The first element of an array will have value 0.25. The third element of an array will have value minus 3.2 and so on. And sixth element will be referred as x5 and final value will be 0.62. This is how the assignment will take place. The next example of how these assignments will take place is something interesting, where I am assigning a string string or set of characters or group of characters to an array. The character color is name of an array whose size is 3. 3 elements are there, and I am assigning them by writing them in a braces. Red, R-E-D, brace gets completed, semicolon. So these are all single character constants which I will be assigning. R-E-D, 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 all 3 are single character constants. How the assignment will take place? The first element of an array color will be referred as color 0, will contain single character constant R. Color 1 will contain single character constant E. Color, third element of an array, color will contain single character constant D. So this is how the initial assignments will take place. All individual array elements that are not assigned explicit initial values, all individual array elements that are not assigned explicit initial values will automatically set to 0. If the values are not assigned, then they will be automatically set to 0. Here is an example, like integer digits. 6 elements are there, but instead of 6 elements which are assigned to this, I am having only 3 values, 3, 3, 3. So result of this initialization will be as follows. Digits 0 will have value 3. Digits 1, second element of an array, digits will have value 3. Digits 2 will have value 3. Digits 3, fourth element of an array, will have value 0. They will be automatically set to 0 because they are not explicitly specified in the initialization. Similarly, sixth element of an array, digits, will be referred as digits 5 and which will have value 0. So they will all be automatically set to 0. Similarly, another example where I have floating point elements in an array, static float x6, and the initialization is as follows: 3.2 minus 1.4 minus 6.3. Okay. Then how initialization will take place? x0 will contain 3.2, x1 will contain minus 1.4, x2 will contain minus 6.3, and x3, x4, x5, last 3 elements of an array x will be automatically set to 0. Then the array size need not be specified explicitly. If you are initializing or if you are assigning initial values to an array, then if initialization is there in the definition itself, in the declaration itself, then array size need not be specified explicitly. Here is an example, like integer digits. I am not specifying the size of this array explicitly because I am including initialization here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then brace gets completed, semicolon. The initial values are written in a braces separated by commas and will end with semicolon as a statement delimiter. Here I am not explicitly specifying size of an array because initial values are included in the declaration itself, in the definition itself. So what compiler will do in this case is it will count these elements, number of elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 elements are there. So size of an array digits will be 6, which will be automatically assigned to the digits. Another example is static float x. I am not specifying the size explicitly, it's not necessary because initial values are assigned to this minus 3.2, 1.2, 2.4, 5.2. So what will be the size of an array x in this case, which has data type float? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So compiler will count these number of initial values, and that size will be automatically assigned to this automatically assigned to an array size. Then strings or character arrays are handled somewhat differently. Consider the following two character array definitions, like character color 3, and I am assigning this string red to it, red, string constant. And the another definition is character color. I am not specifying its size explicitly. Then this will be red. Okay. So result of assignment of these initialization or assignments is different. In the first case, the assignment will be as follows. Color 0, first element of an array will be R. Then second element of an array color will be single character constant E, and third element of an array color will be D, single character constant. But the result of this initialization, second initialization, is somewhat different since size is not explicitly specified, because string always ends with a null character /0. So the result of second initialization is as follows. Color, first element of an color will be R, then second element of an array color will be E, then third element of an array color will be D, and fourth element of an array color will be a /0 character, which is put at the end of the string. So which initialization is correct one? The second one. The first form is incorrect and the second form is correct, because every string must end with /0 or null character. If you want to at all specify the size of this color, then it should be precisely 4. Okay, color character 4 red. Okay, so this completes the discussion of the arrays, how they are defined, how they are initialized, and how the initial assignment take place, then how the strings or character types of arrays are handled. So next time we will discuss pointers in a C. Thank you.